What is going on, guys? That is enough of Rebecca Black's Friday. I don't know if you know that song. I don't remember when it came out, but it was absolutely hysterical. I think like 10 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago. Just a nightmare, a true nightmare, but I love that crap, man. I used to play that in my last job. We had speakers on the outside of the building so we could talk from the inside. We could holler at the guys that were packing stuff up. And on Friday, when my coworkers were coming in, I'd be in early and I'd be blasting that into the microphone through the speakers. And they did not enjoy that. But that's my fun for the morning here. Hopping on a live stream quick this morning. Today is Friday, August 23rd. Surprise live stream. I'm usually not running it at this early in the morning. If you're new here, my name's Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. I'm looking at ES on the 1-minute chart. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice or a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. I'm just an idiot on YouTube talking about trading. Make sure you do your own research. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You'll probably lose money if you trade. This is all for entertainment purposes only, as you could tell by my intro song. But just hopped off the ASFX live stream this morning with Austin Silver. Super fun. If you guys don't know Austin Silver, I highly recommend you go check him out. He's got, big platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. He's all over the place, man. Awesome stream that he runs. Him and his team run. Really, really fun. Appreciate all the introductions that he's made over the past couple months here with TopStep TV and others. So check out ASFX. Did an awesome podcast with him. It's called Breaking Out as a Futures Trader. It's on YouTube. I give you guys a whole bunch of my backstory, kind of everything in my trading journey that got me to where I am today, and then where I am today and what I have coming up. So if you want to know more about me, go check that one out. Shout out to Austin Silver. That was super fun. And yeah, man, it was all set up to stream. Hopped off there. Figured I would jump on here with you guys, watch what we have going on here. So if you're living under a rock, here is forexfactory.com. We have Jerome Powell speaking right now, 10 a.m. This is Red Folder News. If you're also living under a rock, we have the Jackson Hole Symposium that has been going on yesterday, today, through tomorrow, where, again, economic policy conference where everybody that can tank the market gathers in one place in the U.S. and discuss how they are going to do that. They're discussing all these different things. Jerome Powell speaking right now. Obviously, they're looking at him for rate cuts. I think they're going to hang on every word that he says. But, we'll have to see. This isn't a data release the way like an unemployment claims comes out. We get the wick and we can trade after. This is somebody speaking. So, I believe they are going to hang on every word that he says, the way that he talks about things. A lot of volatility. So this is a tough one to trade through. I'm no trades for the morning so far. Obviously, it popped right here at 10 a.m. as soon as he started. We have really broken above all of the levels on my chart. Real quick, guys, this is forexfactory.com. Austin, who I was just on, uses Financial Juice, another great site. I hear a lot of guys use that. I'm probably going to check it out because I think you get some more data from that if you pay for it as well. This is a free site. You get red folder, orange folder, yellow folder news designating high impact, medium impact, low impact. You can sort so you don't get any of the low impact stuff. Maybe you just want to see the high impact stuff. But this is where you would want to pay attention. Even if you're going to not pay attention to fundamentals really at all, you're just going to be a technician and pay attention to the chart. You want to be aware of large news events or data releases that have the potential to impact the market. Like today at 10 a.m. when the market just rips to the upside. This is not a surprise. If you're here trading like this, looking at your range, everything looks cool on the 1-minute chart, you're not aware that Jerome Powell is about to speak, you're caught off guard. Maybe you're long and you're getting lucky. Maybe you're short and you're getting taken out for way more than you would like to. So, news. Even if you're not going to pay attention to fundamentals really to any degree, that is the bare minimum that I would say you really, really need to be doing as a trader. So let's take a look. What's up? What's up? If you hopped on, only got a few people on the surprise live stream. I'm cool with that, man. We're going to hang out here for a little bit. I'll do some morning session with you guys. And we will kind of take a look and see if we have anything that makes sense. Overnight, let's just jump out to one chart here. Make this big. Let's jump out to the 30, the 1 hour, zoom out. We can see where we're at in the higher time frame picture here, right? All-time highs, sell off. Everybody's scared. It's 2008. It's COVID. We're crashing. We're going down to the ground. All the way back up. Nice, tight trend upwards. This was a really solid pullback, kind of the biggest one that we've seen in this trend until we get back down here. If we're looking at measured moves, we bounced really and pushed right back up. As we jump down to the 5-minute, we can see yesterday's low, session changeover, we drifted higher, and now we are popping higher right back towards yesterday's high. We did not break down below overnight low or prior day low at all in the session or this session so far, overnight session or NYSE session. I've got a volume point of control on my chart. Just wanted to see where that was today since it happened to be above overnight high and in between prior day high. Sometimes I will use that marking. If you guys have questions on any of this stuff, what's on my chart, how I'm trading, the tools that I'm using, feel free to ask. So again, no trade so far this morning. Didn't have anything before the 9:15 time frame. I'm really finding that I do better waiting for this, or at least recently, I've been liking to wait for this 15-minute opening range to set before I start looking for trades. Let me throw my 5-minute back on here. Zoom out so the VWAP fixes up itself. 1 minute. Zoom back out so VWAP fixes. Cool. I'm running a side-by-side so I don't have to do that the entire time and make you guys dizzy. This is the 5-minute chart over here. This is the 1 minute. Obviously, I'm mainly paying attention to the 1 minute. I do like to jump back and forth every once in a while, kind of just glance over at price action and structure on a little bit higher time frame, or at least I have been as we've kind of gotten a little more volatile. And on TopstepX, I run VWAPs, volume weighted average price lines. Every time I change between a time frame, for some reason, they get jacked up and I have to zoom all the way out, display all the data. They kind of reset and then I can come back in. So that's really the only reason I have this chart over here. Otherwise, I would just be twitchy and hop back and forth. So yeah, I'm going to hang out for a little bit with you guys. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I think I will also use this time to do a full chart breakdown. That could be helpful. I don't have a trade setting up yet. First thing I could see is getting short really aggressively off prior day high, targeting a move back down. I like to play bounces off of these levels sometimes. If we're way below them, we push up. I think we can pull back down. I don't have a long from this area. I don't have a short coming back down. My first trades that I like to look for are around this 15-minute opening range. If we crack to one side, we show force like we're coming back down in, like we did right here. I might be looking to get short off of the opening range, especially if we're near another level, back towards a break of the opposite. Was actually talking to Austin Silver. He said he's going to make another introduction for me. The guys from Edgeful. It is a statistics software that they use to run reports. And again, kind of like a backtesting software, but just display certain things. If this happens, then this happens, what % of the time. So one of the stats that you can use Edgeful for, or even just your own backtesting that you'll notice, is the 15-minute opening range in ES is broken to both sides a significant number of times. Like over 70% of the time, it breaks both the 15-minute opening range to the upside and the downside. That, to me, is statistically significant. That stat doesn't tell you when it happens, but for me, I noticed that it is broken to both sides fairly quickly many of the sessions. Not always, but enough for me to pay attention to. The same way I see price react around certain levels and I want to use them on my chart, I notice the way that it reacts around those levels. I'm actually noticing right here, I have opening range high where opening range low is supposed to be. Here is before 9:45. Yep. And right here. So let's see. Yeah, just looking to see if I want to take a really aggressive sell off of this level. Let me jump out to like the 30 on this chart. Yeah, that would be probably the first trade if we popped up there, which I don't think that we are right now. I might look for a quick sell. Again, pretty aggressive, really counter to what price is doing. But let's while we're waiting for this to do something, let's go ahead and zoom out on my chart. We'll start on the 5-minute, and I will show you guys the levels that I have. I get this question a lot. They're very simple. All of this stuff that you see is objective. This is market-generated information, meaning it's not my opinion. You can find this stuff on your chart the same way that I find this stuff. PDH and PDL is prior day high and prior day low. You can come to the daily chart, zoom in, and you can grab your, using a magnet tool, horizontal line, and take it to yesterday's candle right here. Boom, right to the low. Prior day low coming off the low wick, prior day high coming off the high wick. Coming back into the 5-minute chart, I have overnight high, ONH, and overnight low. That is the area that price is traded from session changeover, which is 6 p.m. Eastern. You can see the VWAP line reset right here. It's a session VWAP. So this would be the low that was put in between 6 p.m. Eastern on the day before at session changeover, all the way up until 9:30 a.m. Eastern, which is NYSE open, designated by this line. This is called overnight, or at least what I am calling overnight high, overnight low. Some guys call it initial high of day, initial low of day. I was calling this pre-market high and low, but pre-market would really be talking about an area closer to the open of NYSE. So I think overnight is a little bit better to designate that. Today, which I haven't had in a while, I have volume point of control. This is found using the fixed range volume profile. I would drag this tool from prior day session all the way through the end of prior day session. And this is yesterday's volume point of control. Yesterday's volume point of control. The area of highest volume traded on the chart. I like to pay attention to that sometimes. Again, just depends on what things are looking like. After all that, waiting for the market to open, we have the 15-minute opening range. Very simple. From 9:30 a.m. to 9:45 a.m., right here, the high and low that is put in. Here's the high. Here's the low. These levels are areas of interest. Powerful for ES. I encourage you to go and backtest them and decide for yourself if you like them. Once we get, I'll jump out to the 15-minute. Once we get above and below prior day high, overnight, prior day low, overnight low, I have discretionary levels. These are not market generated. These are areas of interest, support and resistance, supply and demand. I was joking around just now with Austin. I call things horizontal levels. This is a horizontal level coming off of highs and lows, important areas of structure. Looking left, you can see this one is coming off the all-time highs, right? I'm drawing a zone from the all-time high here and capturing some of the other highs that are put in. Whatever I think is important area. Maybe the bottom is where I want to start paying attention to it. The top is another important level. The 50% line, gives me a little bit of a reference of where I am within that zone. Discretionary, right? Below price, same thing. We break below prior day low. This is the next level that I'm looking at. Coming down below, coming off of these lows here. Along with my horizontal levels on my chart, I have session VWAP right here. This is in the indicators tab. It is the standard session volume weighted average price. I use, or I have been using, prior day anchored VWAP in the drawings tool here. In the drawing tools here, volume-based projection tab, volume weighted average price anchored to a specific time. This one's anchored to 9:30 a.m. I will also use, third one, NY session VWAP. This is anchored to the start of NYSE session at 9:30. Oftentimes, what I'll do throughout the session, depending on if these are all overlapping, if it's kind of just providing too much information all at the same time, maybe I get rid of the NY session VWAP that I have anchored here, and I anchor it off a high or a low that forms that can help determine who's in control, buyers and sellers. Kind of act similar to the way that a trend line would. I like it because it's weighted by volume and help me get into a trade, get out of a trade, structure a trade. That's kind of the basics. Last piece on this chart, traditional volume. I have that down here, pretty standard stuff. Over on the side, to finish off the entire suite of what I use to trade, I have my good friend Bookmap. Bookmap is an order flow tool. Make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, Bookmap is an order flow tool. This is depth of market. This is the current order book. We are looking at liquidity, live liquidity in the market, showing big stacks of orders on the market, and then it displays this all in a heat map. Here's your scale up here. I won't go into too much detail. This is the price, best bid and ask price, volume bubbles, traditional volume down here, a whole bunch of other fun, fancy stuff, cumulative volume delta, different volume profiles. The basics of what I'm looking at here is the order book. Your depth of market displayed in a heat map. I use this in a very dumb guy way to find what we see right here at 56.25, another area of interest that I might want to pay attention to if it's not already on my chart. A lot of times price is drawn to these levels. When it gets here, if there's multiple levels stacked up, I've seen it be used as fuel to the fire to continue moving price up or down. Spoofing is real. Manipulation is real within the order book. You can see you can see orders come on and off the book. You can see this algo BS, which is just difficult to read through, but this actually is not helpful for anything. This algorithmic stuff that seems to track price within a couple points to the upside and downside. But yeah, I find it extremely helpful. I was talking with Austin just recently that this has kind of changed a little bit. I haven't had as many strong levels like I see right here at 35 and 25. This was actually overlapping right here when I started talking about it. But we have 56.35 and 56.25 as really strong levels of liquidity that we may start to trade towards. If we start to get close to, I could see us blasting through these. But I haven't seen as many of these. Maybe it's the summer slowdown. That's what he was attributing it to. Just volume and volatility kind of dying off and it not being as helpful. But yeah, if you're interested in order flow, you're interested in looking more at depth of market or an order book, I think Bookmap is super, super helpful. But, you know, just like any other tool, not magical, not going to turn you into this amazing pro trader overnight. It doesn't work all the time as far as like how you're going. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. As far as how you're going to apply it to your trading decisions. But, you know, you could check out whatever tool or none of those tools that you like. But showing you guys what I use here, what's helpful to me. Again, still pretty new with order flow and Bookmap, added to my trading pretty recently, so I'm still going through the motions, getting comfortable on that. But if you guys have questions, feel free to ask on this fine Friday. Nice, nice, nice. Guys in Discord looking good. Yeah, we're going to hang out. And again, I don't have a real nice trade setup. This would have been super aggressive. You can see how volume point of control was used today. This is yesterday's volume point of control. Let me just, since I did the whole thing, let me just go ahead and show you how I find this. I go ahead and I zoom out on a 5-minute chart. I grab the fixed range volume profile. You can use session volume profile. I think it's called session volume profile HD. It's an indicator that you can take on and off your chart. Since I'm not using it really throughout the day, I will just grab this tool and I will come to prior day's session and I will drag through the close of the session. So again, this is 6 p.m. Eastern on the 21st, all the way through, let's see, 4:55 p.m. Eastern on the 22nd. Yesterday's session, the entire session. Here is the point of control designated by this line here. This is the highest area of volume that was traded for this time range, because that's what we're anchored to here. That gives me volume point of control. Yesterday's volume point of control. You know, if I moved this to right now, you could anchor it to, you know, the start of this session and say, hey, look, here's the volume point of control right here, right around the open. And that will continue to change, you know, as you drag it out. You can use visible range volume profiles. I think volume profiles can be pretty helpful. But now you guys have the full breakdown. I can use this video. Yay. Even if nobody hops on, I got some value in this one. Again, none of this stuff is magical. None of this stuff is proprietary to me. This is the common levels that you will see guys use, especially on ES. Maybe more, maybe less. I will adjust as I go. I don't always have this stuff on my chart. Sometimes it can feel a little bit busy. I like to be able to focus on price action and market structure. If I have a lot of things overlapping and it's clouding my ability to read what's going on in the chart, I may take it off. I may just drop something off because I don't think it's helpful right then and there. So pretty volatile back and forth movement. This was a pretty tight opening range. And obviously big push up on Powell speaking, choppy back and forth, and not giving me any real clear direction or where I would want to get in just yet. Right now, I don't see this blasting off to the upside. The only thing I can see is a short back down towards these levels of liquidity, down at 35 and then all the way back down at 25. We start to come off. I might look short on this. I don't love having to stop below prior day high, and that's kind of a far ways away to place a stop. If we get up there and I want it to stay in, I would want to be about 6 or 7 points, maybe 8 points above this. So I don't love going short from this level. I see a little bit of a double top maybe being put in, but not really on the 5 minute. This is just kind of back and forth. So yeah, first really aggressive play that I'm going to have is short from prior day high. Again, I'm in a combine here, guys. I've got multiple combines. I'm trading them very aggressively. The amount of risk that I take on and the amount of trades that I take, I will pass multiple on the way to, I will fail multiple on the way to passing one. I'm not going to give myself a lot of time in these. That is a risk that I'm willing to accept. You have to structure your trades if you're going to trade in a way that makes sense for you. $500, $600 per trade in a combine, taking some aggressive entries, maybe that's out of the realm of things for you. You're not going to run 5 or 6 of them at the same time like I do and pass or fail them pretty quickly. You want to be more conservative with it. It's fine. Maybe you want to be way more aggressive and YOLO it during news. You do you. So, cheers and nice to see you in the morning session. Yeah, man. Like I said, I was with Austin Silver. I was on the ASFX live stream this morning. His live stream, and it was fun. And I was all set up, so I figured, you know what? Let me just hop on the stream with my guys for the morning. I didn't have one scheduled for the afternoon. I just got so much stuff going on that I got to try to make some time to make stuff happen and focus on my trading myself. So figured I would hop on with you guys, chat it up, answer any questions you have, and see if we can get some trades in. But it's not looking good. Hopping on here and doing the stream with Austin, I was not expecting to trade before 10 a.m. again when Fed Jerome Powell came out and started talking. Now this is very volatile. He's still speaking. Let's see. Let's see how long he might be speaking for. Let's see if I could watch it live. Oh, don't want to play that. Just want to see if I can get a feel for how long he's actually supposed to be yapping for, because when he's done, I would be more inclined to get ready to take a trade. Let's see. Yeah, he's is he done? Let's see. Sorry if I get background noise here, guys. I think he is done. I think he's done. This one still has him speaking. No, I think he's done. I think he's done. Well, we'll find out soon enough. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this short, guys. I'm looking at this short back down towards this zone. I don't love that we didn't tap prior day high. This would have been my entry right here. I'm going to wait a little bit. We continue to break lower. I'm going to look at this as a rotation back down in. Obviously, very bullish open. We really failed to move higher after coming down, and we have some serious levels of liquidity below price. I'm going to try this from down here. I'm going to run... Yeah, I'm going to run this as a pretty tight stop loss. I mean, coming way up here could make sense, way above prior day high. But I'm going to look at this as a double top type situation. Again, buyers failing it to take it higher. I'm very aggressive with this entry. I'm looking at this back down into this range, targeting some levels of liquidity, targeting a retest of overnight high, 15-minute over opening range high, and going to get aggressive. This is probably going to be my only trade for the stream, so I'll put it on aggressive with you guys here. Selling into some selling pressure, watching it somewhat fail to go higher. This could absolutely take off and run, but I'm watching this as popping on him speaking. Again, trying to move higher, but just looking weak and giving me an opportunity to target some levels on Bookmap. Whether I'm being too aggressive, jumping in too early, that's all out for debate. But I will put... Yeah, I'll put about $537.50 worth of risk on. Past these highs, we have to come back up. I think we're likely to come up and tap over prior day high, in which case I'd be out of this trade and, you know, waiting to look for another one. But I'm looking for this sell-off to continue. Again, aggressive, heavy amount of risk in a combine. Got to make some movement in these. After I hop off with you guys, I'm going to go back to testing some really, really aggressive scalping that I've been playing with just to try to get some trading in on these. I'm focusing on XFAs. I'm already not trading an XFA today just because I feel like it's too volatile, not very clear as far as, you know, direction, unpredictable the way that we have, you know, Jerome Powell speaking and the Jackson Hole Symposium. So much stuff can happen that I'm just not comfortable putting risk on the line in my XFA. So I'm over in the combine, and I'll put it on in the combine. Yeah, so first level that I'm looking at would be this volume point of control. But I could see us approaching 35 pretty quickly. Let's see how we react down here. Really need a breakthrough New York session VWAP and a close below. I may look to manage this if we react really strongly and come back up, which it kind of looks like we're doing here. Let's see. Liquidity still on. That still looks good. I am in a sell. See if sellers can take this thing lower. Again, if we wick right back up, I may just duck out at break even, guys. Get flat, and this could look like just a break and retest before continuing up. But I'm getting short on selling pressure coming back down. Watching this structure really fail to move higher. Big liquidity down below price. Sellers are trying to take this thing lower. Can we break this NY session VWAP? Let's take a look and see. We come back up. I'm going to take, we come back up to entry. I'm probably going to take 5 off. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Secure 63 bucks of profit. Just a little bit of hesitation down here. Don't want to get scared out of the trade completely, but don't know that I want to leave 600 and 500 some odd dollars worth of risk on. I'm cutting this one in half. Again, being a little bit aggressive, not moving stop loss to break even, not taking it as we're blasting down, but taking half off as we're kind of hesitating here around this this New York VWAP, which has been a pretty strong line in the sand. So less conviction than if we just came and blasted through it. But enough to leave it on. See if we want to continue down to, yeah, 35 is really the first level that I'm looking. I want to see a breakdown below here and, you know, head back down to session VWAP. But want to give this room in case we need to pull one of these moves. I think this is fine. Continuation down. I don't want to be out right here. I think that's okay if we need to pull back up. I won't survive a crack above these highs, obviously. But they're trying. They're trying to pull this lower. 5 micros, pretty light risk. Again, for me, I'm taking on $500-600 per trade. I like to try to give myself 2. Ooh, there we go. Going to go ahead and look to take 2 off here at this 35.50. Yeah, 35.50 level. If we continue the move down, this would be the first spot that I would look to take some off. And that's what I got going on here. Not a whole lot to work with 5 contracts here. You know, maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you say, hey, you know what? That's close to a 1-to-1. I'm cool taking profit right around volume point of control at the test of NY session VWAP. I'm going to try to press this one. You know, I'll let this winner turn into a loss. That's fine. You know, reduce risk by half, secured a very small amount of profit. Not a whole lot to work with here. So I'm going to look to take 2 micros off. If we blast down to this first level, the remaining 3 would really be at 25. All the way back down here somewhere. Next level of liquidity on Bookmap. Again, show you guys how I'm using Bookmap, what I'm paying attention to. Right here. These levels. Level of liquidity. That we look like we're going to come down into quickly, so I want to be able to manage. Just see what this looks like. Yeah, we got a line in the sand here. We got to break these. We got to break these lows. But looking good, man. Nice trade. Good entry. You know, good read. Had direction right. Do we continue back down in? It certainly looks like we want to. You know, here was our chance to bounce here a couple times. We saw some volume behind these. It looked like we were going to. But I'm going to hold this for a breakdown. Maybe we go stop loss to break even. I would really like to see this continue. Finding some support here at New York VWAP. Again, guys, I actively manage my trades. If you're new here, you will see that. But I'm going to hang on for right now and let this one start to play. Again, we're trading around volatile times. This could wick right back up and take me out. This could blast right down. You know, we've got Jackson Hole Symposium going on. There's no telling. So, you know, manage your risk. There's nothing wrong with going risk-free, going stop loss to break even on stuff like this. You know, You manage your trades how you see fit. If you have a trade management plan, you should be following your plan. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I'm going to go stop loss to break even on this one, guys. I don't like how much support we're finding down here, where we found support again. If we're going to continue, I want to see this fail right here. I want to see sellers come lower. I'm not going to leave it room for it to come up, like I said earlier. Again, now that we've pushed lower, I really want to see this continue. We started to break below it. If buyers are going to step in and take this thing back higher, we could run. We could run to the upside. We could follow this bullish structure. I want to see this break now, and I'm not going to take, I'm not going to take any off right now. I'll let it just the rest stop me out, and it'll be a $65 trade. I want to leave this on, see if we can break, and if not, I'll be stopped out at break even, no problem. If we do, we got some room to the downside, all the way back down into the zone, and make for a really choppy day so far. But not yet. Buyers are holding this thing. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it wants to come and take me at break even, but that's going to be okay. Again, guys, I'm going to manage this to the best of my abilities. We come back down again. Maybe I look for a re-entry. I get short on this again with a stop loss, around where my initial entry was. But I could see this, I could see this continuing, and I'm just not comfortable, letting this turn that much back against me. Let's see, still in. Is it going to be like yesterday where it keeps me in by a tick? We did just crack above the prior 5-minute bar high. Ooh, there's some selling pressure. Again, if this is going to continue lower, I need sellers to start to do it. I don't want to give it a whole bunch of room to come, more than 10 points off the low on a pullback. This is big price action. It can certainly do that. Got another 5-minute bar opening up. Let's see what we get. Liquidity still on the book down here. This can definitely still play. We got sellers coming back in. I actually like where my stop loss is now. This would be a clean level of invalidation. If we're going to test this again and then come higher, now we are really starting to look, maybe like we're going to find a lot of support here and continue. So I'm actually very happy with this now. This is fine. We want to continue lower. Great. We got to come all the way back up. This bearish bar has to flip bullish and put a, bigger wick into the upside before continuing. Not really something I can play off of. Buyers got to take this lower. We tested it twice, tested it multiple times here. This has got to break. If it's not going to break now, it might not. We might just hold and continue up. And again, this might just be some really nice bullish structure following, bullish pre-market structure. But so far, looks okay. Let's see it. Let's see it, ES. That looks good. That looks good. Into liquidity. Is liquidity staying on the book? Let's see. It looks like it is. My first target, 35.50. We are at VWAP. We're getting below it by a little bit. Let's see. Do we come into this liquidity? I don't like that VWAP is so much higher here, but I'm going to, we got buying pressure at VWAP. Let's Let's see, can we come down into it? Can we crack VWAP? Let's see it, ES. That's a lot of hesitation. There we go. Stick to your guns, boys. Hold your trades. Let's see what we got. Next level coming down. Is 625 going to stay on the board? It looks like it is. I'm going to target... Ooh, I'm going to target 625. I shouldn't have closed that 5. Overnight high. Yeah, I might just take it right down here, actually. 625. Let's see what this level of liquidity looks like. Can I act quick enough here on the 1-minute chart? 625. Yeah, man, that looks good. That looks good. I want to go 625.50. Let's see. Is it lightening up? Or is Bookmap going to be for the win today, guys? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Keep it going. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go, guys. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Does it always work out like this? No, guys. No, it certainly does not. But today it did. I had a reason to look short before I started looking at Bookmap. We watched buyers fail to take price higher. We'll look back on the candlestick chart. I saw these levels come up on my chart here on Bookmap. Use them as targets. And as I said before, a lot of times, as price comes into them, it just acts like fuel to the fire if it's going along with the trend of that day. What do we have going on? Where price is coming into these levels, using them like magnets. Orders are filling. They're staying on the book. It's not spoofing. They're real. And price blew through them, absorbed, and just continued lower. These worked out as great levels to take targets for that trade. That is the power of order flow and Bookmap. Nothing magical. Again, doesn't work every day, just like anything else. Nothing does. All the way back down to crack 15-minute opening range low, which would have been an even more aggressive point to look. But here was the trade. Let's throw it on the boom. Beautiful. Beautiful. Had I not taken some off here, that would have been a $1,200 or more trade. I'm okay with that, right? I know I said I shouldn't have taken anything off. I should. That's okay. That's my trade management to say, hey, we didn't crack this level with force the way I wanted to. We started to hesitate and come up. I'm cutting the trade in half right here. I'm not going to leave on this, $500+ worth of risk. I'm going to leave on some risk. Profit taken right here at 35. Boom. Profit take it right here at the next level. Why? Obviously, number one, breaking VWAP looks really good right below there. That's an easy target. Next one all the way down here into 15-minute opening range high. If we're going to crack through all this, it looks good. But it was based on Bookmap. Bookmap, guys. Simple. Again, I get yelled at. There's people arguing with me right now. Bookmap is all spoofing, and I got a guy on Instagram back and forth, back and forth. ICT says you don't need to use Bookmap, and it's all a bunch of spoofing and manipulation. All right, dude, go ahead. Trade whatever you want to trade. No problem. I'll be over here using Bookmap, and, that works well for me. If you find something that works well for you, that's great. I don't have gripe or beef with anybody. I think the way that liquidity is spoken about in the markets oftentimes is just straight up incorrect. There's not correct the way that it's spoken about. But most of the stuff is semantics, it really is. And I don't even want to get caught up on it. I'm not going to make any more of those videos. I don't care to argue with people. It's all good. Do your thing. So that one worked out good. Really clean. Love it. $600. Again, would have been nice not to cut that one a little bit near break even with half profit coming off, half the trade coming off. But that's a decision that I choose to make. Sometimes it just is not going to make sense to leave on as much risk as I have. I have new data printing. The original trade idea might still be valid, but it might not be as strong. And as we started to pull back like that and find support here really off of New York VWAP for, the continuation of that day, that could look like a continuation up. Enough for me to still want to stay in short, but not with the full amount of risk that I had on. Dropped it from 10 to 5 micros, and boom, played nice. Let's answer some questions. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask, man. What a nice way to jump on a live stream and take a win. Always feels good. But guys, go back and watch. You'll watch me lose. You'll watch me take losing trades. Hop in Zach's trades. I'm not on here to say it's all rainbows. It's certainly not. I've got 2 XFAs and a little bit of drawdown. That's just part of the game, man. Every trader has, let's see. Sometimes I can't read these comments. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, his own edge and strategy that works for them. Bookmap can be helpful if you understand it. Absolutely. I agree. Love the patience and determination shown there, bro. Hell yeah, man. Just realized I'm looking at NQ and not ES. Yeah, this is ES. Yeah, man. Again, part of what I want to demonstrate here is the tough stuff of trading. So if you go back and you watch yesterday's live stream, you'll watch me sit through a trade all the way to $300 in drawdown, be a tick away, come all the way back down into profit, all the way back down into drawdown, all the way back down into profit, to demonstrate that if I believe the trading idea is still valid, which it was, and then it ended up continuing to the target after I got stopped at break even, you can go back and watch the market, it made it past my target, which was a level of liquidity on Bookmap. I'm demonstrating the importance of needing to hold your trades. If the trade still makes sense, and if your trade management plan tells you you should be holding that trade, whatever pain you're feeling or, anxiety because it's just not working out, if it's not coming from the market, coming from price action and market structure or the tools that you're using, you got to manage that. You have to create a different response to that and not close your trade. All right. As it comes down here and I'm on live with you guys, sure, I want to take $200 and just say, okay, all done. Zach's great. And, another win for the day, green. That's not going to pay me in the long run. Holding the trade this way, all the way down is going to work, or all the way back to stop out. That's what's going to work out best in the long run. So, again, guys, ask questions, please. Feel free. But I appreciate that, man. Support is being hit at yesterday's VWAP. Yeah. Yep, we saw that, right? And I was waiting for this to break. It was held here. So, again, reduced risk on this. That's there. 795 key level. Not exactly sure what we were looking at. Not sure what we were looking at. But yeah, again, guys, trading questions, I'm happy to answer. I see support being hit down here. I don't have a long trade off the bottom of this zone. Again, the stat that I was talking about when I hopped on here, 15-minute opening range being broken to the upside and downside. It was. If you got short over here today, maybe you weren't paying attention to news, expecting it to break pretty quickly, you would have gotten smoked. But we can see today does fall into that category where 15-minute opening range low is also broken. I think I'll be working with the guys at Edgeful to just get more information from them pretty soon. I'll talk to you guys about that. For the Swarm 813, when backtesting a strategy, how many trades do you feel are required to get a good idea of the performance of the strategy? A lot of trades. If you are backtesting a completely new strategy for you, meaning you don't have something that has a nice quantifiable edge, you don't have confidence in it, you really should be backtesting through a large amount of time, a large amount of trades, and through different market conditions. If you're going to trade it all year, you better backtest through summer, winter, fall, spring, everything. And, 100 plus trades, I would say, is a good starting point. I don't think 20 or 30 is a good number. I would say 100 plus realistically if you're going to start from scratch backtesting. And, again, backtesting is fantastic. I advocate for it. Some guys don't at all. I advocate for it. I think it can be good for data collection and trying to quantify an edge, trying to refine trade management. It can also be great for warm-up. I love to hop on TradingView in replay mode and just warm up, backtest without collecting so much, data on a spreadsheet or anything like that, but just to get comfortable, to train my eyes on the chart, get comfortable about how, ES moves, just kind of get warmed up. But I was going to say it is limited. So after you back test maybe 100, 200, 300 trades across a whole year or 2 years of information, and everything looks good, you've got, risk management down, your strategy down, your trade management, you still want to take that to live market conditions in demo. Again, this is if you're just starting out, really. You want to trade that live in demo because there's a good chance that it's not going to perform the same way that you expect it to perform based on your results in backtesting. And then, once you get to actually having skin in the game, you want to start real slow to make sure you can trade that strategy and with whatever results that it's going to provide once you have some risk on in the markets, and start very, very small. And until you do all of that, I wouldn't consider sizing up. But to answer that question, I think you'll find the basic answer is the more the better, right? The more data, the better. If you're going to manually backtest, it's cumbersome to do, but that's how you build confidence. That's how you build the understanding of the strategy, the expected drawdown, the consecutive losses. You start to get a really good feel for win rate and risk to reward ratio. You can understand how to build a risk management strategy around that. And it takes a lot of time to do it. So again, if you're starting from scratch or you don't have a strategy that you're trading and you're starting to backtest something differently, you got to do it for a while. And, you could decide if you want to go to demo account with it pretty quickly and, start testing there the way that I'm talking about testing after this. I'll hop off and I'll do some testing. I test in a combine. It's really just forward testing. I am collecting data. I'm trading in live market conditions with actually some skin in the game in a combine because I have to get some trading in on them. But that would definitely be a step above back testing, actually having candles print in front of you in real time, dealing with all of the uncertainties and the different nuances that come into trading in the live market conditions. So, get to that when you can. Awesome, man. 214 trades in so far with good results. Yeah, awesome, dude. Maybe you start, trading on demo. If you're not already, continue backtesting, trade on demo, and then, maybe eventually with, small risk. Maybe it's a 50K combine that you say, hey, you know what? This is the first one. I'm probably going to lose this one. I'm very comfortable losing it, but I want to know what it feels like to have the psychology and mindset to start to manage this in the live market conditions. But, build that confidence through backtesting first. That's how it works. And if you are backtesting, I would ask you, do you have any room for discretion? Or is it 100% mechanical rules-based strategy? Top of hour, expect movement. Yeah, bro. 11 o'clock, here we come. 10 seconds to 11 a.m. Just watching the market now. If you hopped on late, one nice trade. You guys can go back and see this one play out. $600 in profit in the combine. Right now, it's 100% mechanical. Yep. If you watch my stuff, if you watch my video with Austin Silver, the podcast, you watch me on TopStep TV. Quick plug, I'll be on TopStep TV Monday, trading with the big dogs, power hour again. Hopefully we get some trades in. But if you watch my stuff, you will see that my opinion is that 100% mechanical rules-based strategies don't work in the long run. I believe that you have to apply some of your experience, your discretion, your intuition to the market. I think you can do it in a very controlled and consistent way early on. You write it in, how much flexibility you're going to allow for. But I do believe that edge comes into play with almost all profitable traders. I don't know anybody that makes it long-term with 100%. I don't know anybody that's profitable with 100% rules-based strategy. And if they think it's 100% rules-based, I think most of them are not. I've talked a lot about that at length, but I wanted to comment on it. Again, it's not to discourage you. Keep doing what you're doing. But what was a big piece for me personally, again, just opinion, was coming to the realization that I couldn't come up with this magical combination of indicators and tools to tell me exactly what to do like a machine. And if I just did this when this happened with this exact risk management, it would provide me with a 60% win rate and a 1 to 2 risk to reward. I wasted a lot of time and money trying to do that. And I believe understanding you're going to have to apply your discretion to a degree. You're going to have to build your experience, become better at reading and creating a good discernment of price action and market structure and maybe bookmap and VWAPs and horizontal levels, whatever tools you use. But recognize that and try to start to figure out how you're going to write that into a trading plan to not allow for too much flexibility where it just becomes gambling and where you can't be consistent. And then how will you create a feedback loop for that discretion? How will you quantify that? It's harder to do, right? For me, it's journaling. Journaling really hard on the chart, like you see me here do, like you see me doing here. I like to journal this way. Here's an example of some losing trades from yesterday in the XFA. This is a simple way to start journaling. If you're not journaling already, or you're looking for a really, really simple way to do it because you can't stay consistent, journal on the chart with this information and all of the information that you get from your broker. In TopStep, you have TopstepX, maybe you're trading with. You have all of your trades logged. You have performance metrics, all of this detailed data. And then the big important piece, the emotional journal, the handwritten book filled every day that I write in this thing. I went back to doing it manually after doing it, just in app or Word document. You certainly don't have to do that. You could use voice to text. You could do something quicker and easier than this. But if you're going to use discretion, I think you have to journal, and journal hard, to understand what you did and why, how you were feeling when you did it, and really start to understand what's working and what's not working. So those are some pieces for you, brother. Hopefully that's helpful. If I'm going to make a recommendation, I'm going to talk about why. Again, not a recommendation or suggestion to do anything, because I'm not a financial advisor and I'm just an idiot for entertainment purposes only. But if I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to tell you why, how it helped me, and kind of the processes that I put in place, the practical way that I do what I'm talking about doing. So hopefully that helps. Choppy is all hell, guys. I'm glad I got this one in. Again, this was counter trend. I would classify this as counter trend. We were bullish at the open, popped off prior day low, bullish overnight session, very bullish at the open, right? With this news on Jerome Powell speaking. I saw price find support here a couple times. Yesterday's volume point of control along NY session VWAP, NY anchored VWAP, failed to go higher. I entered as we were selling off, breaking below. Liquidity popping up on the book down below gave me another reason to get short and to target. Got short here, actually scaled out a little bit of profit, secured like $60 as I believed, hey, maybe this is not going to play, but not enough to go stop loss to break even yet, and not enough to take the whole trade off. Made it down to the first target all the way at 35, I think 35.50. Took a small partial there, closed the remainder at 25.50 where we had a level on bookmap, man. Played out beautifully. Now we are bouncing. Found support right at 15-minute opening range low. Big surprise. We got levels working out. And we're kind of pushing back up now, retesting session VWAP. In between all of this range, no clear direction. I would have loved to see this say, hey, you know what? Forget Jerome Powell, forget Jackson Hole. We break down after this move like this, pull back, and then we really aggressively continue. I'd be looking short. Maybe I'd be looking short down here towards opening overnight low, maybe down towards prior day low. But we haven't done that, right? We're back up into the range now, trading towards, we're at session VWAP, so really right back into the high volume area of this session, right in the middle of the zone. So I don't have anything, and I'm less likely to want to take a short now if we start to come back down lower. I certainly am not looking for a long at this point either for the middle of this range. So that's where I'm at, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up. If you guys got questions, feel free to ask. Again, not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, not a suggestion or recommendation here or anything else that I say or do to do anything at all. Trading's risky. These results are not typical. This read rule, CFTC Rule 4.41 about simulated trading environments, which is what this is. Combines, XFAs, funded accounts are in simulated market conditions until you get to a certain live account level. Trading's risky. It's really tough. You're probably going to lose money if you trade. It's important to know that. Hop in the free Discord if you're not already. I run a free Discord. Live trading like this almost every day. My charts posted in Discord before I start trading. Usually, I missed it today, but usually with a voice memo of 5 to 10 minutes talking about a whole bunch of fun stuff. You could ask me questions, news alerts where I'm saying, hey guys, red folder news at 10 a.m. Be aware of that. And just a great growing community of traders, over 1,000 traders. If you're interested in working with me as a trade coach in a real one-on-one program, I do that. It's my only paid program. Not a video course, not a pre-made bunch of stuff, nothing where you're talking to anybody else, talking to me directly, working for 50 hours in a month, upwards of 50 hours over the course of a month to build you into the trader that you know that you could become. Book a free call. You can talk to me for 30 minutes through Zoom on that. Be happy to speak to you. Outside of that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Probably going to get some testing in afterwards, maybe. I'm going to take a break right now and maybe come back in a little bit. But have an awesome weekend, guys. I will see you next week, Monday, Top Step TV, 3 p.m. Eastern for Power Hour. I would love to see you guys there. Thanks for being on the stream. I'll see you next week.